The truth is that we're judged by our impact, but we defend ourselves with our intent. And really, honestly, just because you feel calm doesn't mean that you look calm. And just because you mean well doesn't mean that it lands well. And here's the truth: leadership is not what you meant, it's what your team feels. So, this is what's happening. On my inside, I know my intent. On my outside, I don't see how I look from the outside. And then on the same token, I'm looking at my team and I can see on the outside what they are expressing on the outside, but I don't get to see what they're feeling on the inside. Looks like they're being careless. They might be overwhelmed. And an employee that sounds really sharp, they might be stressed out. A customer that comes in and sounds rude, they may just be having one of those days where they're out of breath and they're coming across as more than they should. And that's why I love the GAR method so much, because the GAR tells you to stop and think about what you're grateful for and then look at where you can be accountable before you respond to that person. So I want you to do this exercise today. I want you to, in a moment, when you realize that someone might be being rude, I want you to stop and take a second. And I want you to ask yourself, if I didn't know what my intentions were on the inside and I was just judging by my outside, what or somebody else was just judging by my outside, how would I respond? How would this make me feel? And then adjust. And then when someone frustrates you, ask yourself this: what is happening on their inside that I can't see? So, this inside outside gap, it could either cost you the trust that you have between you and your staff members, or it can build. And that's part of why I study people when I'm talking to them. That's part of the reason why I'm always trying to understand where they're coming from, because I realize that I am really terrible at judging people's insides, but I am super good at judging my own insides. And you know what I'm also really good at? I'm really good at looking on their outside and thinking I know what they're thinking on the inside. And I'm really terrible at realizing how I'm projecting myself and what I look like on the outside. And remember this: at the end of the day, you can only change yourself.